One of the YouTubers that really inspired me as a musician from a young age was this guy named Nicepeter. If you're familiar with him, you might know that he created things like the Epic Rap Battles of History and also The Monday Show. The Monday Show is a series that he did semi-regularly, but he hasn't actually released an episode of it since early 2014. Music has since become a passion of mine, partially due to Pete and also because of some other awesome artists that I'm probably going to talk about later. I have a lot of respect for Peter and, you know, the work that he's done and the work that he's, I'm sure, doing as we speak, but I thought that it would be a good way for me to get some practice musically and also be a fun outlet if I, made a little Wednesday show type recreation of the Monday Show that I loved so much when I got the chance to watch it years ago. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Wednesday
Show!
My name is Benickerson, and I'm glad that you're here. So in honor of Nicepeter, I decided to hit up my local thrift shop and see if I could get a couple cool things to show you guys. First of all, I got this hat that says Goofy on it. Now, I wasn't actually super big into Disney as a kid. I never got the chance to watch a lot of it, but that doesn't mean I'm not interested in learning. Yeah, I don't mind this hat at all. Impromptu Halloween costume, let's go. Got this t-shirt, thought it was kind of neat. It says, "Beauty lies in the ears of the beholder." It's got some headphones. I don't know if that's a quote from somebody or if it's just a thing. Putting this on over the hat is, we'll see how it goes. There we go. It's a little tight with the extra shirt underneath, but I like it. I like this shirt. Alright, we've got our outfit almost perfected. I hate cleaning, so I bought this pretty feather duster. I thought it might motivate me to clean a little bit more often. Okay, I'm actually taking this off. I'll put the hat back on, but this shirt. Next I picked up this CD. It says John Williams and the Boston Pops Orchestra with special guest Nancy Wilson. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. I don't actually listen to a lot of jazz music, so I saw this and figured, if I want to start listening to more of it, this would probably be an okay place to start. I don't know if it's the same John Williams, that's like the awesome composer for all the big movies, but regardless, gonna give that a listen. And then finally I purchased this, which is just a CD by Dave Matthews Band, something I've never heard of before, but the cover art kind of caught my attention, and I think I'm gonna give it a listen, and I'll let you know. Next up on the agenda, I reached out to a few social media platforms, see if we could get some questions for me. This way maybe you guys can learn a few more things about me and my life just based on some of the questions that people have asked me, so let's take to the internet. Our first question comes from Max Bobbitt. He says, "What's your home address?" It's funny, I used to live out in like the middle of the country, and whenever people asked me where I lived or like what my address was, I said that first you go out to the middle of nowhere, then you take a left, and then you're there. And I don't know if I stole that from something or if I came up with that myself or whatever, but next question comes from Fisk.Ghost at Professor Llama. It says, "Who's your favorite Smash character and why isn't it Pac-Man?" So context to literally anybody besides this person, because it's sort of an inside joke, but I started hosting like Super Smash Brothers tournaments at my high school a couple of years ago, and that guy always showed up, a friend of mine, and he would always pick Pac-Man, and that kind of became like the joke of the club, was that Pac-Man is the best character, but not actually, he's the worst character. But to actually answer the question, I don't know, I like Jigglypuff's been my main since as far as I can, but when I started practicing Smash Brothers, I went with Jigglypuff, even though way back I liked Ike and Sonic in like my Brawl days, but then when I got into Smash 4 and then eventually Melee, I stuck with Jigglypuff because, I don't know, I like Jigglypuff. And I may or may not have a friend who originally introduced me to Jigglypuff, and so I kind of just stuck with her because of that, so I guess I have to go with Puff. On YouTube, Dinner Joe asks us, if you could wear one shirt for the rest of your days, which shirt would it be? So I started thinking about the answer to this question, but then I realized that in the last 3 videos I've uploaded to my channel, I've been wearing the exact same shirt, so it feels disingenuous to say any other shirt other than that one. Generally, I would tell people that that blue shirt with the little pocket is my favorite one, but you know what, it depends on the day. Peanut butter or jelly, I choose cheddar spreader every time, and let me tell you the misconception, because people think that Cheese Whiz is so gross and disgusting, and they're right. Cheese Whiz is disgusting. Cheddar spreader, however, is totally different, and it is so good, and I put it on toast pretty much 99% of the time. Episode 1, where Ben gets really passionate about cheese. Which Simpsons character do you most identify with? this one. Shout out to Joe Fens for asking like 12 questions. I'm just gonna pick a couple of them here. If you were an animal, what animal would you be and why? I'd probably be a squirrel. It's been a running joke forever that like when I was in my preteens, I was kind of squeaky. I sort of screamed a lot of energy, so people would call me a squirrel. Specifically, my friend Flair, it was kind of the running joke between us that I was a squirrel and he was a ferret, so I guess I'd stick with that and say that I'd probably be either a squirrel or just like a fucking sloth or something. Something lazy. PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo. I'm gonna have to go with Nintendo because I'm currently playing Odyssey. It's really good. I just recently deleted my like 300-hour profile on Breath of the Wild, so that's still kind of a soft spot for me. But yeah, I mean I have an Xbox and I have a PlayStation, but Nintendo's always kind of been my favorite. I will shift back towards playing Nintendo games as opposed to other games just to kind of find that place of comfort. I inherited a bunch of Nintendo games like an N64, SNES, and all that stuff from my older brother. He kind of passed that on to me when he got too old for video games, I guess. If you'd like to ask a question that will be on a potential future episode of the Wednesday show, feel free to leave it in the comments below, or you can message me on any of the social media platforms that you find in the description. Any questions about me or music, or it could be about anything, I don't really care. I always really liked how the Monday show was always about trying to show you something new, or whether it was just a fun fact about a guy who made a functioning jetpack in 1956, or some interesting tidbit of information about Peter's life story. I'm not going to pretend that I have, nearly as developed of a life story as Nicepeter, because obviously I'm a lot younger. I think that everyone kind of has their own stories and that are special and have meaning to them, and I think that this is a great platform to be able to see those opinions and those stories and perspectives from outside the circle. I think the idea of like somebody's life coming to the point that it has because of a bunch of isolated or consecutive events that happen due to coincidence is really interesting, and some people don't take the time to really notice that or appreciate it in some cases. Thank you so much for joining me on this first Wednesday show. I really do hope that this is a series that I can potentially continue on, and we can have some fun. And finally, I hope you enjoy this week's cover song. Holy shit, I'm gonna miss you, girl. Your hair is never clean. Walk just like a queen with your shoulders back. This time it's hard to hide. It's left like ice cream on my chin. Everyone who knows me knows what a mess I'm in. We knew we shouldn't. We knew we couldn't wait. It's easy to fall in love. It's hard to stay. Goddamn, why do you smell so pretty? It's not just the perfume that you wear. There's something else in the air, and it's making me crazy. This time it's hard to deny the family of butterflies, kicking and screaming and fighting their way out of me. We knew we shouldn't, but we knew we couldn't wait. It's easy to fall in love, it's hard to stay. Da 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 da. We knew we shouldn't. We knew we couldn't wait. It's easy to fall in love. It's easy to fall in love. It's easy to fall